guys, stay frosty. 2, 1. Dan, I need him close to the camera now.
Copy that!
Look, I don't want to be that guy, but the sand's a little loose. I can't get any traction. When I do, it jumps, so if you get any closer, you're gonna lose the camera.
I know, but get in there. You got this, baby!
Move up, move up. No. What the?
Keep rolling. We have 7 more cameras. Keep rolling.
Okay! Ready in 3, 2, 1!
The Fall Guy is loosely based on an action-adventure TV series from the 1980s, something Hollywood has never covered before. Lee Majors is out, and Ryan Gosling is in as Colt Seavers, a stuntman who leaves the movie business after surviving an almost career-ending accident. After over a year away, he's called back to the job when his ex-girlfriend Jody, played by Emily Blunt, is at risk of losing her chance to become a director when the star of her debut film, Tom Ryder, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, goes missing.
So you got this guy coming on your left.
All right, we got
All right, take him out. Someone else is going to crash down on the bonnet. You're going to take him out.
No. See, what I'm thinking is maybe I come down, I take him out first, and I'm like, pow, pow, pow. I slide over, go pow, and then maybe I say a little line like, I was shooting aliens way before I was paid to.
Fantastic. All right, let's look it up.
The movie can be charming at times, but the story is a little disjointed, as the plot devolves into a vessel to get to the over-the-top action sequences. There we go. There's the evidence that The Fall Guy was indeed a television show in the 80s before it was a movie starring Ryan Gosling. So I remember I picked this up. I bought this. If I remember correctly, I bought this. This is from my childhood.
Really?
And I bought it for 25 cents at a yard sale.
Wow.
So there you go. I've been collecting crap.
Was it played?
Yeah. It was opened and used and that.
No, did you?
Oh yeah, my sister and I, we would play this all the time. We loved the Fall Guy TV show, and of course I have the Canadian version with the French.
Français.
Old Français. So it's Le Homme.
L'homme qui tombe à pic.
So I'm gonna let me. So that is, let me get. It is the man who told me peak, right?
Yes.
What is it? The man who. What does that mean?
Who fell? I don't know what a peak means. Sorry.
Who fell a peak? I mean, a peak picture movie. I don't know. But here's the interesting thing: on the Fall Guy movie,
Yeah,
that
it's
just
called
came
something
out.
else, right?
It's called Cascadeur. Le Cascadeur.
The Cascadeur.
What does that mean? Le Cascadeur.
The hard fall.
Okay, well that's a little closer,
Maybe?
right? Anyways, there's the Fall Guy Français lesson for you. So the Fall Guy. This was my movie pick. I picked this, and we watched it, and you ended up liking it more than I did. So,
This is true.
what did you think of the Fall Guy?
I loved it. Every second was something going on.
Wow.
And often with action movies, there's so much action happening that you just kind of get lost in there and you kind of glaze over. But this one, I was into it the whole way through from beginning to end. It had me engaged.
Yep.
And the acting between Ryan and Emily.
Yeah.
That was great.
They're really good together. They have some really strong chemistry. I even had to ask you at some point, are these two together in real life?
Colt, do you feel a bit flung in at the deep end here? I'm just wondering, because you haven't read the script, if you'd like some backstory, some context, would that be good?
Let's go with it.
Yeah, helpful? Okay, here we go. So, sci-fi love story. 2 characters, one of them's an alien. Aliena and your space cowboy. They shared what's called a moon season. In real life, you might call it a fling. Brief, but very intense. And hopeful. Now, neither of them had ever been in a relationship that deep before. And they told each other that over and over and over again. Him more than her, you know, to the point where sometimes she was like, chill out, you know. But anyway, in a tragic turn of events, Space Cowboy is wounded. And he just disappears. Without a trace. I can keep going.
I can hit the rock better now, thanks.
But
They're not.
yeah, so they work very well together. My issue with the film was that after they got this little bit okay, so they were together on this set and they kind of fall in love, and then he has this accident and he goes away, and they kind of get this contrived way to bring him back to the set.
Yep.
And then from then on, it just felt like as if the plot was just, you know, trying to get to the next action sequence. It didn't really make, like, a lot of it didn't really make too much sense. And a lot of the other characters in the film, other than these two, I didn't really, like, they were just kind of.
Well, Hannah Waddington
Right.
from Ted Lasso, she plays the producer of the film.
Right.
And she was the one that attracted him
Right.
to come
Yeah.
back and be.
But do you think if you didn't know her from Ted Lasso, she was just some actress, do you think she would have stood out to you?
Probably not.
That's what I mean.
No, that's true.
Even the
That's
Kick-Ass guy, that's who it is. The kid who played Kick-Ass is the film star.
Okay, right.
He's kind of like, you know, I don't like take him or leave him. He was fine. It just seemed like everybody else in the movie was just kind of like, you know, there. They didn't really add too much to it. What I really appreciated, well, for one thing, is the lean towards physical, practical effects. There didn't seem to be a lot of CG happening.
Or if there was, you didn't really notice it.
Yeah, it wasn't as obvious as it has been in previous films. So I think they did a very good job with that. I also, I'm a fan of stunts and stunt work and stuff like that. You know, like all my favorite actors, Burt Reynolds, Steve McQueen, Jackie Chan, you know, they all do their own stunts. Don't get me started on Tom Cruise. But so I just finished reading Hal Needham's book, who was a friend of Burt Reynolds, and he did a lot of work with Burt Reynolds. He was a stunt guy and then became a director, directed Smokey and the Bandit. And while I was reading his book, he was talking about the vehicle that's featured at the beginning of the film. The vehicle that they would use, they would put like a hydraulic on the bottom of the car. So if they wanted a car to flip, like an explosion caused the car to flip, there was a hydraulic under that would push it up and flip it over.
Right.
Before that, you would have to have a ramp somewhere, right? And then you would have to hide it. You'd have to put the camera low so you don't see the ramp, and then the explosion would cause the car. And it was so cool to see that in this film, like the book that I just read like maybe 6 months ago, and here it was like coming to fruition in this movie. And Ryan Gosling talking about the sand on the beach.
That was interesting.
Yeah, because the sand on the beach is, if it's not wet, if it's like when they would do these stunts, they would, the sand would have to be wet. It would have to be like after high tide or something like that, where there'd be enough pressure to push, like when the hydraulic hit the sand to push it. So all that stuff was in this book, and it's all like real life stuff.
And then we find it in this movie.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess we should talk about how we came across this movie too. I don't know if we really intended to watch it, but
no. And for me, like, I never watched The Fall Guy when I was a kid.
You didn't watch much TV when you were a kid.
No, I didn't watch much TV.
And I'm not sure if many people remember The Fall Guy at all. There are some nods to the TV show. That's one thing I did like as well.
Yeah.
Is, I mean, I just finished watching Rise of the Planet of the Apes again. And that movie is really obsessed with the source material, constantly calling, like doing these little calls and stuff like that, to the point where it's like, it's a little too much. Whereas this, they didn't really call too much to the original TV series, probably because a lot of people don't remember it. I mean, the truck is in it for a little bit. You know,
yeah, right. Yes.
In the 80s, children in the 80s, you always had to have, if you had an action show,
you had to have a truck.
You had to have a truck or a car.
Yeah.
So you had the A-Team van, the General Lee
Magnum PI's Ferrari.
Knight Rider,
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch had the red tomato. They always had some sort of vehicle. But yeah, we were just we were at a thrift store, and somebody had this on the shelf for $4. So
Can't go wrong.
no, for $4. So there you go. See, look, I'm like the cheapest fall guy. I get the board game for 25 cents and the 4K UHD edition of the movie for $4. So I'm $4.25 in the hole for with the fall guy. But I don't know who's doing that though, because I did find the other day Top Gun Maverick on UHD. Not a great movie, but for $4. I don't know who's dumping out of them, but I'll keep going to that thrift store as long as that guy
Dipping into that well.
yeah,
Why
as
not?
long as he keeps toss them in there. So
Right.
leans towards practical effects, good character, good lead characters. I think that's what
agree.
really made the
Yeah.
film for me. Like the chemistry between Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling really kept me invested.
Well, I have to admit that I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Why?
Well, I'm just a boy in a neon suit standing in front of a girl reminding her that Notting Hill is her favorite movie and she watches Love Actually every year at Christmas.
Well, you know, I watched it again this year and I didn't love it, actually.
Wow, that's worse than I
I'm
thought.
ruined. Yeah, it's a really sad day for Notting Hill as well. That happily ever after stuff. Unsubscribe me.
I didn't get happily ever after from Notting
What are
Hill.
you talking about? Of course you
Did you?
Yes, of course. They're on the park bench. She's got her head in his knee. She's a regular girl.
Maybe, but we don't know for sure she's not going to go back to work in the street. All we know is that in the beginning, she's pretty much up for anything but kissing, and in the end, she's open to kissing him. And it gives us hope.
You have got
And
your
that's all
Julia
we
Roberts
want.
movies so twisted.
little
No,
hope.
that is Pretty Woman, where she is a lady of the night, and this is Notting Hill, where she's a very famous actress.
I like a lot of the action I thought was a little too over the top, like when he took that when he was given or slipped the drug.
Oh, that. Yeah.
And that was like,
Yeah.
so the director of this film was the director of Deadpool 2. And then he did like Bullet Train and one of the Fast and the Furious films. So a lot of the effects, a lot of the action scenes are very mind numbing a little bit. Like it's just a little too much, I like a scene to breathe a little bit. And there are action sequences like that in this film, but there are also the other kind. So it was almost like as if the movie wanted to have a little bit of everything for everybody in it, which
Yeah.
I get it, but it was a little too much. It was a long movie too.
Yeah, it was what, 2 hours and I don't know.
2.5 hours, I think.
We had to take it in twos.
We did watch it in 2 sessions. We did watch the extended edition. There are 2 editions on here, and when that happens, it's like, which one do I watch? Well, we can't start the movie yet. I got to go to Reddit or somewhere online and find out like what people are saying. And most people recommended the extended edition because they did feel that the theatrical edition did leave out parts of the story to the point where some things didn't make sense, and this expanded on it. And I got to say, even on the extended edition, some parts of the story just felt a little contrived and didn't really make too much sense. But I think at that point in the film, like we're talking like an hour into the film when stuff starts being revealed, that they're just kind of banking on you enjoying yourself so much that you're not
going to notice.
you're just waiting for the next action scene to.
Yep.
So overall, fun movie.
I liked it very much.
I did as well for the most part. I gave it 3 stars out of 5.
I think I gave it 4.
I probably would watch it again.
I definitely would. I definitely would.
Would you watch the theatrical version, have it cut down a little bit, or go full on?
Probably go with the theatrical
Yeah,
version.
just cut it down a little bit.
Just cut it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It was a little long. But
Yeah.
yeah, overall, though, very enjoyable.
Okay, I guess that's it for this one. There was something I kept meaning to talk to you about. What if we let people give us recommendations on what to watch?
Ooh.
Like what their pick for movie night would be. If you've been watching our videos and you have an idea of something that you think that we would like, maybe, and we will watch it, and if we like it, maybe we'll talk about it. If we don't like it, I don't want to call anyone out and say, you recommend a real stinker, So if you do recommend a movie, don't hound us too much to watch it, because we probably already did and we're just being nice. Is that fair?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's good to hash things out right on camera.
Yeah, why not, right?
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching this one, and see you in the next video.
Bye.